Welcome to day 10. We're going to work on balance today. Let's begin in our tabletop pose, hands and knees. No props required for this one. Firm up your stance so the palms are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. We've done this a few times before. We're going to extend the right leg up and back. Keep your right hip drawing down, knee and toes are pointing down. Instead of lifting our left arm forward, we're actually going to lift the exact same side right arm. So this is a little bit more challenging. It's very tempting to want to open up towards the side. See if you can keep drawing your right shoulder and your right hip down towards the floor. Take an inhale to reach, and then exhale, contract slightly. Take that 2 more times. Inhale to extend, reach through the toes. Exhale, squeeze it in. Inhale to reach. Exhale, pull it in. Let's extend our right arm forward, and this time we will open up to the side. So keep your right leg lifted, extend the right arm straight up towards the sky, squeeze the glutes, reach into the hamstrings to help lift the right heel up a little higher. You're either going to stay here. If you want to work further on your balance, you're going to bend into your right knee, catching a hold of your right foot, pressing that foot in towards the palm to lean the chest forward and roll the right shoulder back. Release the hold of the back foot. Bring your right palm to the mat, and let's step our right foot forward in between the hands. Bend into your right knee. Right foot forward, curl the back toes under, lift the left knee off the mat. Keep your fingertips on the ground. So you're bending into your right knee, trying to drop the hips and reach through the heart. One long line from the crown of your head all the way down into your back left heel. Plant the palms to the mat, and let's step back to plank pose. Holding in your plank, let's see if we can lift our right heel off the ground. Maybe lean into your right hand and extend the left arm forward. Strong core. Just one more breath here. And then set it back down. Lower the knees to the floor. Take a child's pose. Back onto hands and knees, tabletop pose. Firm up the core, belly is really strong here. Lean onto the right side of your waist, right side of your hand. Lean onto the right side of your body, into the palm and knee, and extend your left leg up and back. Keep the hip drawing down, and we're gonna pick up the left arm up. So try to keep that shoulder rotating down, so everything is still facing towards the mat. Take an inhale to reach and lengthen, and then exhale, pull in and contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, reach. Pull it in. Now re-extend, and we're gonna open everything up towards the left side of your mat. Keep lifting your left leg off the floor. You really need to power up the glutes here. Stacking the left shoulder over the right. Either stay here or bend into your left knee and catch a hold of the foot with your left palm. Press the foot in towards the hand. Open up the chest. Try to keep your knee and your ankle relatively at the same height. And let's look down at the floor. Bring your left arm forward, left foot in between the palms. Curl the back toes under so you can lift your right knee off the mat, and keep your fingertips to the floor. So just gently inviting the hip flexors so as to stretch and open. Plant the palms, plank pose. So this time we're gonna hover our left leg off the mat and extend the right arm forward and up. Belly is strong. Try not to let the hips go up too high. Take another breath to reach. Hand and foot back to the floor. Lower your knees to the mat, take a child's pose. Coming back into our first downward facing dog. Feet are hip width distance apart. Palms are shoulder width distance apart. Working on our balance even here. Working our balance from our downward dog. Extend your right leg up and back. Keep that hip squared. And then lean into your right palm a little bit more. Start to tent into the left fingertips. And maybe just bring your left fingertips towards the center of your mat. This is already plenty of a challenge. If you would like to go a little further, focus on something that's not moving and maybe go to rest your hand towards your lower back. So two-legged dog, you need to reach into your right heel, engage the hamstrings to lift it up a little bit higher. Let's bring our left palm back to the floor, look past your hands, and step up into a high lunge. Arms reach. Bend the right knee. Keep your gaze steady. Let's bring our hands at our heart, balancing in warrior three. Start to tilt your chest forward, power up the right leg, and then lift up. So my left thigh is still parallel to the ground, toes are pointing down. If hands at the heart makes it harder for you to balance, feel free to reach the arms out to the side or anywhere that challenges you. We're trying not to hold our breath here. Firm up your core, come all the way up to stand. Maybe keep that left leg straight as you extend it forward. Toes are pointing up. Back into your warrior three. Now let's see if we can bring our fingertips towards our right leg. Start to crawl your fingertips down your right leg as you transition into your standing splits. Because we're working on balance, we're going to try not to let our palms go down to the floor. That being said, if you need the extra support, feel free to drop your palms down on the ground. Squeeze the leg to lift it up a little bit higher. Now bring your fingertips down to the mat. Bend into your right knee, step back to your plank pose. We're going to take our flow. So inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga, hold halfway. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog. So that sequence on the second side. Reach your left leg up and back. Keep the strong internal rotation so the core stays engaged. Start to lift your right palm off the floor and maybe just slide your fingertips to the center of your mat. You're either going to stay here or you're going to float your right hand and rest it on your lower back. Two-legged down dog. Pull the lower belly in. Lift the heel up a little higher. Release and bring your right palm to the floor. Step it forward to a high lunge. Both arms reach. Left knee bends, right heel is off the ground. Keep your gaze steady. Bring your hands at your heart, coming into warrior three, standing on your left leg, tilt forward. Use the power of your glutes to reach the right leg up and back. Feel free to do any other arm variation that helps you balance here. Let's come all the way up to stand. Maybe the right leg stays straight as it floats up. Inhale. Exhale. Back into your warrior three. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Warrior three. From our standing splits, so fingertips to the left thigh, start to crawl them down the leg. See if you can catch a hold of your ankle, squeeze into the right glutes and engage the hamstrings to lift the right leg up a little higher. Keep your gaze focused about 6 inches or so in front of your left toes, looking straight down. Palms to the floor, bend into your left knee, drop the right toes back, take your flow. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, bend the knees, step or hop forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Press to stand, reach the arms up overhead, palms together, and let's draw our hands at our heart. We're gonna come into our tree pose next. So keep your feet about hip width distance apart. You're gonna lean onto your left leg, and you're gonna bring your right heel either to the inner ankle, inner calf, or inner thigh. Press your right knee open, tailbone is lengthening down. Press your right foot to the inside of your left thigh and feel the left thigh press back against it. Let's bring our right hand on our hip. We're gonna take a side bend from here. So reach your left arm out to the side, and then inhale, reach the left arm up and over. So you're leaning towards your bent right knee. No need to go too far into this one. Focus on something that's not moving. Come all the way back up. Bring both hands on your waist, engaging the hip flexors alone. Lift your right knee up over to the side. Keep squeezing it in. You're either going to hold underneath that right thigh. If the reach is accessible, you're going to grab a hold of your big right toe and then extend that right leg out. So it doesn't matter if I'm holding with my toe or just holding underneath the thigh. We're all reaching through our right leg, pressing into that heel. So if you feel like you're losing your balance here, sometimes it can help to reach your left arm out, kind of like a little counterweight. Lift up, up, up. And let's start to bend into our right knee, back into your tree pose. Hands at your heart. Lift up a little taller, maybe shift your gaze up. Chair pose, big toes together, heels apart. Drop down, and let's fold forward. Bend the knees generously and roll all the way back up to stand. Second side, feet hip width distance apart. Lean onto your right thigh. Drop the left heel either to the inner ankle, inner calf, or up towards the inner thigh. Be mindful of keeping that left hip externally rotated. So we're pressing the left knee open. Keep leaning that right hip forward. Hands at the heart. Notice if the toes are gripping into the mat. Try to keep it a little light. Pulling up through the quads to lift the kneecap up. Shoulders away from the ears. Taking our side bend, left hand on your hip, right arm out to the side. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over. And if you fall out of it, don't worry. Just get right back into the pose. Come all the way back up, both hands on our waist. Hip flexor strength helps you lift your left knee up, open to the side. Choose if you want to grab a hold of underneath your left thigh to open up the leg, or if you'd rather hold on to the big toes. Stretching that left leg straight. Maybe the right arm goes out as well for a little bit of a counterbalance. Keep the left hip rolling and pressing down. Stand tall through your right leg. Take another inhale here, and let's find our tree pose again. Bend the left knee, bring that foot in, hands at the heart. Coming into chair pose, big toes together. Bend the knees, drop the hips, fold forward. Stay in your forward fold, just walk your feet wider than your hips. Grabbing hold of the two big toes with the peace fingers. As you inhale, lift up halfway, flat back. And on the exhale, bend the elbows away from each other, reaching the crown of the head down towards the floor. Three breaths here. Release the hold of the toes. Bend the knees. Roll all the way up. Our final balancing pose. Standing at the top of the mat, we're going to come into dancer's pose. So feet are hip width distance apart. We're going to lean on our left leg, left side. Bend into your right knee and you're going to catch the inside of your right foot with your hand. Feel the tailbone reach down, lower belly firms up, right knee is pointing straight down. We're going to reach our left arm up, bicep along the ear, and notice how tempting it is to let that right knee open up to the side, keep it hugging in. Start to press your foot in towards the palm. You will be leaning your chest forward slightly, but not so much that you're dipping down all the way to the floor. See if you can keep your left arm up for this variation. Focus is steady. Let's come out of it. And release, shake it out. Second side, standing on the right leg. Catch a hold of your left foot. So holding to the inside of that foot. Right arm extends up towards the sky. Start to press your left foot in towards the hand to lift the left knee up. Not leaning the chest too much. Let's come out. Feet are hip width distance apart. Let's finish off with a flow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Take your halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, step both feet back to plank pose. Take a breath here. Let's lower to our belly. Press the hands into the floor, cobra. Child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, palms forward. 5 breaths. Let's come up to a tabletop pose. Just do cat and cow a few times. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. A few more times, go at your own pace. Follow the rhythm of your own breath. No need to rush it. Take one more set. And let's come back to neutral. Swing your legs forward. Lower down onto your back. Keep your feet wide. Knees are bent, arms out to the side. Just do a little windshield wiper motion with the knees. Shavasana, straighten out the legs. Arms alongside the body, palms facing up. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Feel free to keep the knees bent, feet flat on the mat if the lower back feels sensitive in any way. Otherwise, try to let go a little more while you're here. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me. Stay here as long as you would like, and I will see you tomorrow.